Hey guys, welcome back to another Skyrim video. Today I'm going to quickly go over for you guys this here, which is the load order. If you already know what it is and the basics, but are just looking for a quick guide where to put mods in the load order, then you can skip ahead. I will put the time in the description exactly where that point is. If not, let's get started. The load order is simply the order in which the game loads up your mods, but we will go over a bit more in a second. Now with the load order, it's important to spend some time on it when you've installed mods, because with the mods comes a whole bunch of clashes and conflicts with the game and other mods. Some of you will have just found all the mods you thought sounded cool and hit install, jumped into the game and realized that some of the mods are not working or only partly working, and we're going to go over why this is in as simple as way as possible. There's no need to overcomplicate all of this stuff. And we will start very basic if you are new to console mods completely. So how does the load order work exactly? Well, the game takes one mod and loads it up, then it takes another and loads it up, and so on until each mod is loaded. So it's all pretty straightforward. However, you can run into difficulty here when you have two mods that try to alter the same data. For example, if you had two mods and let's say both alter Imperial armors, then obviously both those mods can't alter the Imperial armor at once, only one mod or the other mod can alter it. So you can't have both altering the armor at the same time. So hopefully that makes sense. So what the game does to stop this is every time it loads up a mod, it writes over all the previous mods that are already loaded. If the mods don't clash, then all of the mods will work. If two mods do clash, like the two Imperial armor mods, then the first Imperial armor loaded is going to get overwritten by the second one, so it's the second Imperial armor that will work in game. So essentially the mods at the bottom of the load order are more likely to work than the ones at the top, as they overwrite any mods before it. So I hope you are still following along here. Now obviously that's a very simple explanation and a very simple example, and you can just say, hey, there's no need to have two Imperial armor mods, they won't work at the same time anyway, so I should just download one. But this is more a problem for bigger mods, one that alter the entire game or entire quest lines, and the conflict with other mods might not always be so easy to spot, so you have to optimize your load order in order to avoid conflicts. So how do we do this? Well, we try to arrange the mods into categories of big to small in terms of how much they change or affect the game. At the top of the list are things like we mentioned, that change the entire game or entire quest lines. The reason they go at the top is they have the biggest potential to conflict with other mods. So if you had one of these bigger mods at the bottom of the load order, you could find that it conflicts with like 5 other mods, and since it's at the bottom, it overwrites all of them, and those 5 smaller mods will no longer work, because the bigger one replaced them. However, if you have the big mod at the top, the 5 smaller mods will overwrite the bigger mod. However, since they are smaller mods, they're very unlikely to change something important. It may just be a certain weapon or a certain NPC, and since the big mod is made up of loads of different parts of data, it's very unlikely one of these smaller mods is going to replace something that's vital in order for that big mod to work. So again guys, I hope that the load order makes sense to you, okay? We can just summarize a little bit. Only one mod can alter one set of data at a time. Two mods that try to alter the same data, the second mod loaded will replace the first mod, usually disabling it so it no longer works. Mods load from the top to the bottom of the load order, and bigger mods go at the top and smaller mods at the bottom, because the bigger mod can usually work if they're overwritten by smaller mods. But the opposite isn't true, smaller mods usually don't work if they're overwritten by a bigger mod. So we always go big to small, top to bottom. If you struggle to follow that along, then don't worry, because we have a simple guideline that will help you place your mods in a load order anyway. So let's take a look at the guideline, and we can split this down into 3 steps. First, check out the mod description, as the author may tell you where to place the mods for it to work best. You should always have the game patches at the top. So the unofficial Skyrim patch will go at the top of everyone's load order, and it specifies this in the mod description anyway. Also, look out for mods that are add-ons. The Campfire Hypothermia Camping Survival mod is an add-on to the Campfire Complete Camping System mod, meaning the Campfire mod has to be loaded in order for the Frostfall mod to work. So the Campfire mod will have to go above the Frostfall mod. If it's the other way around, then the Frostfall mod won't load. After you've done all of this, you can then start to place your mods into these categories from top to bottom, and we're going to try put them in this order. At the very top, you want to have patches and bug fixes. Below it are really big mods that affect the entire game, or any quest mods, big or small. Any mods that overhaul the environment, and large add-ons that may add any towns, cities, and land masses. So try to think how much a mod adds to the game. Below this can be any mod that adds buildings to towns, villages, and cities, including player homes, along with any type of plants, grasses, or foliage that overhaul the entire game. Underneath this, any gameplay changes or tweaks or any changes to the game mechanics or user interface. These include anything that adds or alters skills, perks, leveling, and abilities, including changes or add-ons to magic, like adding more spells into the game. Below that, changes, alterations, or add-ons to NPCs, enemies, allies, animals, or companions. Below this, any visual, textural, or atmospheric changes, along with any sound, audio, and FX alterations. Next, any sorting and menu changes, alterations to inventory, including the player and any NPCs like vendors, also items that give you cheats such as increased carry weight that alter your inventories. Below this one, character model replacements. Underneath that, any weapon, armor, or clothing mods that add new weapons or armors into the game. Below this, any crafting related item, weapons, food, magic, scrolls, or anything else that's crafting related. Next, small miscellaneous items, decorative items, objects, and foliage that add single or small amounts to small areas, like for example the Gilder Green Regrown adds a single tree into Whiterun. And finally, any weapon or armor changes that only alter weapons and armors in the game. Now this is just a rough list and not all mods will fit perfectly into these categories. If it doesn't, just try and think about what we talked about and try and place them in the right place. Some mods are stubborn and will require you to range them a bit, and some mods will just not be compatible with each other and you'll just have to choose one. I think we have most mods though into a category, and this order is just a good starting place for you guys. So I hope I have helped a little bit to help you better understand load order, what it is, and how to get the most from it. If you did find